Oh, those silly Canucks, they spilled the maple syrup. It's all over the ice. Yes. Why, yes. I did push the stream back an hour so I could watch hockey. It is my one sport that I actually really give a shit about. Alright. So, audio's looking fine. More than fair reason, yeah. Especially since, the US just beat Canada in international competition for the first time in, like, a really long time. So yeah, I had to watch that shit. Anyways. Everything seems to be in order, so let's go ahead and get her started. Right. Okay. Awate Amiki, my name is Faustus Marius Incitatus, the true consul of Rome, the favorite horse of the God Emperor Caligula. Hope you're having a fantastic weekend so far. Happy Saturday. Yes. Very excited to just get into Disco Elysium. We're at an interesting place in the game, I think. There's actually some time to kill. And we'll talk a little bit more about what we're gonna do. I think I might just read a book, but yeah, thanks for bearing with me. Just had to start this one a little late, cause yeah, it's time for this. Yeah, stick puck. That's the word. That is the word I was looking for. I found it eventually. Man. I need to wake up. I'm on like a normie schedule. It's really bugging me. I woke up at a reasonable time this morning. I got a decent amount of sleep last night. It's like, who is this responsible adult in the room? I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah. Gonna play some Disco Elysium tonight. Gonna take tomorrow off, and then coming back on Monday with some more Batman. So, looking forward to all that. Let's go ahead and get started, cause yeah, I'm having trouble gathering my train of thought tonight. So hopefully, if I have something to riff off of, it gets a little less stilted. Nobody wants to see a horse on stilts. That just sounds like a shit show waiting to happen. Anyways. Alright. In we go. So last time, we explored the doomed commercial center. Didn't make a whole lot of progress on the main story. I feel like we're sort of blocked making progress on the main story in a lot of ways. We're waiting for the bridge over the canal to get fixed so we can kind of go to the fishing village. There might be we have a task there from Sinclair. We have looking for the cryptozoologist's wife. There's a lot of stuff to do in the fishing village. So yeah, I feel like we've sort of hit a roadblock with our investigation here. So look at Harry just cruising around with his crowbar out. Oh wait, good to see you, Chita. Let's try something I learned and listened until I remembered you're live. Oh. One can always multitask. And I'm thinking, let's see. Were these
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian.
Feeling like I want to train my
all the
physical
titles
instrument
contain
here.
the word Heimdall somewhere.
Heimdall. Tell me about the Muscle Man books.
Oh, Man from Heimdall. A very popular series of adventure novels. They're awfully immoral and violent books.
Why are they so popular? Because they're awfully immoral and violent.
Blood and violence, scantily clad women.
Oh, yes.
Epic narratives, all those mystical things he encounters. They're bound to grab those with little imagination and nothing to do.
Sounds good. Which one should I start with?
They're all the same. However, the customer is always right, they say.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Heimdall, the man from Heimdall.
Heimdall Man, the man from
the
Heimdall. Wonderful. I want to buy the Heimdall Man book.
Oh yes, certainly. Another good sale.
Aha. Alright. So yeah, I think we will kind of return to the whirling. We got some time to kill. We're going to talk to the guy we saw smoking on the balcony tonight after 2100. See, normally guerrilla squads aren't allowed to use AT launchers. Exploit having an AT gunner drop his launcher, have the guerrilla pick it up and refill its ammo. Yeah, I can see that. That makes sense. Alright. We also got this, production schedule filament memory. I'm gonna hold on to this, but it's a tremendous relief to know that if it really comes down to that, I can sell this and have like 2.5 nights worth of lodging at the whirling. Let's see.
The cover of this tattered paperback features the man from Eomdar standing atop a pile of bloody corpses. His two
dual-wielding spy hunters, let's go!
Chest in a dramatic X, their blades dripping with gore.
Nothing is more metal than a Fury Warrior, hell yeah!
Behind him rise the harsh, snow-capped peaks of his native Northlands. In bold red letters, the title, Heomdalaman, the man from Heomdal, unfurls like a banner. In the foreground,
let's go.
a nearly woman lies spread in supplication, her privates strategically covered by her flowing black
let's
hair.
Go.
These images speak to something burbling deep within you. The primal struggle of a bunch of violent apes just duking it out.
Let's go. Look at the back cover.
The back blurb reads, his latest adventure serves as the perfect introduction to the savage Heomdal saga. Meet man from Heomdal, his faithful blood brother Tyribald, the noble Lord Hrothgar, and some of their most fearsome foes yet for the Northlands. For Heomdal.
Let's go.
Below, in smaller font, you see the parenthetical, adapted from Man from Eomdal.
Ooh,
and the
it's a clip
Necromancer's
show.
Treasure.
Let's go.
Man from Eomdal, Lord of Hrothgar, and Man from Eomdal, the Curse of Noctera.
Noctera.
A brazen attempt to bilk fans for more money by splicing together old stories under a new title.
Oh, yep, and it worked.
People find comfort in familiarity, remembering old experiences, looking at old photos, reading old stories.
Let's read the first couple
The
pages.
story opens in medias res. The man from Heomdal and his band of northern reavers
Love the
are
way
in the
this,
bowels
love
of
the
an
way this
ancient
narrator
temple,
says
surrounded by
Kjolndal.
an army of gibbering whites, led by the deathless necromancer. One by one, the brave Northmen fall to the relentless crush of undead, only to join their number as reanimated corpses. By nightfall, only the man from Eomdal and his blood brother, noble Tyribald, are left standing against the dead horde. It is an honor to die by your side, brother.
Yeah!
Tyribald cries,
Oh,
as
you
his
just
battle
know
axe
the
beheads one of
sickest
their
metal riffs are
reanimated
playing as
comrades.
they're doing this. Oh, yeah. Oh, they're in trouble now.
9 Tyribald.
9
The man
Tyribald.
from Heomdal bellows over the army of flesh and bone. Have courage for the Northlands. For Heomdal. He leaps to the mezzanine to face the black-eyed figure, and like a mad ice bear, whirling twin Zweihanders,
Sturm and Drog,
drag.
let's
He
go.
plows through the ranks of the deathless, surrounding the necromancer.
Storm and Stress.
It is physically impossible for a human being to effectively dual-wield Zweihander swords in any kind of real-life
Good thing the
combat
man from
situation.
Kjolndal is not a normal human being, Logic.
And with
Don't
deadly
ruin this
finesse,
for me.
His twin blades scissor the necromancer's head from its body.
Yeah!
Undead legions collapse like ragdolls as the dark magic leaves them, and the two Northmen stand alone in their cursed temple, where the bodies of their lost brothers litter the floors.
Oh, this is metal as fuck. What a way to start the stream. Skip it.
A few chapters later, the man from Heomdal and Tyribald are in a completely different setting, high above an arid desert, riding a pair of griffins that always seem to appear at narratively convenient moments. This book makes a mockery of the very idea of good plotting, though something tells you coherence was never the point.
No, certainly not.
The Northmen find themselves in the court of a powerful southern king. Lord Hrothgar. The old king beseeches the man from Heimdall to rid his kingdom of the Nachtherra, a subterranean clan of blind wizards who traded their souls for demonic powers.
Okay, I'm into it, I'm into it.
The man from Heimdall extracts a high price from the desperate king. He asks land for the homeless desert pygmies living exiled in the kingdom's borderlands. Hrothgar offers the hand of his eldest daughter instead, but the son of winter does not budge.
Why is the man from Heimdall doing any of this?
What do you mean?
Why is he doing all of this?
Because the flame of justice burns bright within his chest. Because, above all, he's driven to bring honor to the name of his beloved Heimdall. Because his noble Cutland blood lusts for glory and conquest. It cannot be denied.
Fair enough.
You skip past a section detailing an elaborate banquet with many toasts, as well as the long and perilous journey from Hrothgar's keep to the ancient forest of Yesdor, where our heroes infiltrate the Nachtherra's dire hall. In the center of the great hall stands a blood altar on which a pair of Nachtherra are disemboweling a shrieking peasant, an unholy rite that empowers the Nachtherra forbidden magic. As the vile ceremony ends, the sound of steel unsheathing draws the Nachtherra's attention to a pair of cloaked figures standing in the doorway.
Mages hate it when you hit them over the head with a Zweihander. They just hate it.
This is what you came for, isn't it? A climatic bloodletting, where men are reduced to muscle and fury. Swiftly, the visitors toss off their cloaks and unsheathe the glimmering northern steel. It's the man from Heimdall and his valiant blood brother, Tyribald.
Well, yeah, who else would it be?
In an instant, the Nachtherra summon a horde of gibbering orcanoids who rush our heroes. The hall fills with the clang of blades and the screams of the dying as the floor goes slick with steaming orcanoid viscera.
Let's go.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
When the din of battle settles, only the man from Heimdall
knee-deep in
and
orc
remain
guts,
standing,
beheading mages.
exhausted and
Let's
dripping
go.
with the entrails of their foes. The two Northmen confront the foul Nachtherra. The man from Heimdall's soda-like blue eyes fill with indescribable fury. For the Northlands, he cries, rushing headlong into a desperate melee.
Yeah, cut him up.
He probably is, but you can't be sure, because this one ends in a cliffhanger and a footnote saying, to be continued in Heimdallaman at the gates of tomorrow. Coming soon to your local bookstore. Considering the sheer amount of different Heimdallaman books out there, it's very unlikely you're ever gonna find the
we're
sequel.
gonna find the sequel.
The man from Heimdall stares at you on the cover, his face fixed in grim resolve.
Fair enough. I thought that would kill more time. Honestly. We do also have this communist propaganda that we never bothered reading. I was saving it for toilet paper, but, you know.
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Friesel. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover.
I think we know why Friesel.
Because Friesel was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the communards wished to overthrow. It's satire, you see.
Alright, well let's read it for the article, shall we?
To your disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. Just column after column
it
of
truly
closely
is a
set
leftist
text,
meme.
interrupted occasionally by little doodles in black and white.
After trying the trick for myself, fun but very impractical due to needing to set it up first. Fair
After
enough.
rifling the pages with your thumb several times, you return to the table of contents. The magazine is divided into several sections. International development, Kunst und Kultur, and local concerns. Just inside the cover, there's also
Gonna read
an
all of
editor's
that,
note.
get to the good part, right? Let's check the editor's note.
Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, Du cristal alla fume, This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turned to smoke under communism. But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée. Unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel, La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential
Are you turning to
subscribers.
smoke under the rigid structures of capitalism?
Only 4 issues in, and it sounds
Sounds
like
they've already alienated their readership. Yes.
So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today. Yours in struggle, the editors.
Cam, I think this is a communist magazine.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union. They're probably bankrolling the thing.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Let's hear about international commie developments.
This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine.
God forbid someone somewhere makes a buck.
You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border. Something about bear wrestling in Samara. Book riots in Yugograd. Face it, you really aren't interested in foreign affairs. You're not even sure where most of these countries
fair
are.
enough.
You flip back to the front of the magazine.
Okay,
The table of contents unfolds before you.
I am art cop, so I should be at least somewhat interested in Kunst und Kultur.
It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must mean arts and culture.
No shit.
Why they decided to title this one section in Volda is beyond you. As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified only as CS.
Probably Kuno shithead.
The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovian perspective.
Tournée. Okay. Let's hear about CS.
This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A, made all the briefer by the subject's evident hostility to her interviewer.
Legit. That's how you know it's a real artist, when they fucking hate anyone trying to give them publicity. What is Tip Top Tournée?
The actual article is surprisingly light on details, but after skimming a page or two, you gather that it has something to do with motor carriage racing. If you don't follow it, you only ever hear about the ludicrous sponsorships and obscene death toll.
I see. Let's see what the communists have to say about Formula One racing here.
You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few of the more colorful drivers. Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problematic aspects of Tip Top Tournée.
What's wrong with Tip Top?
Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships. And then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes. So, all of it, basically.
Who wrote this stuff?
Oddly enough, this article has 2 bylines. Nasteb Encolada Bernal and Exilus Buka.
Nasteb Encolada Bernal and Exilus Buka.
There's no way those are real names.
Why aren't they real names?
Have you ever met anyone named Exilus? Come on. They're plainly
Always said on the horses.
pseudonyms.
There you go.
More than that, they're likely
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. So, Nasteb. Bast. Seb. Huh. Stan. Yeah. I don't know. So what's so bad about sponsorships?
Under capitalism, the article says, every pursuit has its price. Every pleasure, even one as elemental as the joy of racing others around a track, is reduced to an advertising opportunity. Thus, the so-called tourney becomes a competition between increasingly meaningless brand signifiers. Your discount laundry detergent racing against a pack of Astra cigarettes, or even a fritter.
Yeah, but then you get to see them crash.
And that precisely is what's problematic about it. Were it not for the promise of random, spectacular violence, audiences would quickly lose interest. At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching
Yeah, you read me like a book.
You see, one cannot avoid the conclusion that Tip Top Tourney is simply the apotheosis of spectacular entertainment under capitalism.
Kim, this article says that no one really watches Tip Top Tourney for the races.
Oh, come on. Can this article read your mind?
It seems to think so.
A certain kind of young man reads one or two books and suddenly thinks he understands the secret structures of reality.
If you're placing bets, then it'll be pointless. True.
If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I take whatever they write with a large grain of salt.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Okay, how about local concerns? This one might actually have something useful.
Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dock workers' strike.
Shocking.
You skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. A city in revolt. First, we take Martinez. Then we take La Delta. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Capeside apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
A large grain of Carthaginian salt, yes. Yes. If only we could salt their brains so nothing ever grows again. Not that it was particularly fertile ground to begin with. I could use another buck. If it weren't for the wild pines, all those moochers would be out of a job.
According to these
Thank you.
editorials, private enterprise is simply a means of organizing labor that would already happen regardless.
Sure it would.
It goes on to call the wild pines a nightmarish transnational leech
First,
sucking the
take the
life
keys.
from the laboring classes of Martinez.
Ascend from darkness.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Alright, well, that was about what I expected. Have any, do we have new and exciting thoughts? Yeah, I feel like I should unlock a new slot and maybe try to, let's see. The precarious world. Seems like the point of this game is victory. Temporary research bonus. All red checks fail. Oh, fuck. Problem though, not a lot of victors in sight. Everyone's mostly losing. Why is that, and how do you not lose? Think about the Col de Momadaqua. You heard it. The mysterious Col de Momadaqua. You're certain you did. Well, maybe you're not quite certain, but let's say you're hopeful, because it would make you very special to be the only human being who can hear this invisible, incorporeal bird, this animate whisper, this particle of sound. You're gonna have to keep listening. Sharpen your ear. We have the Jamrock Shuffle. Oh. You like to open doors and see what's behind them. Maybe secrets, maybe more juicy containers. Let's be honest, you like all containers. Aha. How about you're so hellbent on opening? So this probably gives me some bonus to stuff I find in containers. Maybe makes it easier to spot them. I'm kind of superstar. Rigorous self-critique. You're one sorry piece of shit. A cop penitent, a flagellant cop monk. This is not the right line of work for you. You should be groveling at the feet of a feudal lord, providing lurid evidence against yourself at a Mazovian show trial, or ripping the flesh from your back with a cat of nine tails. Whatever made you this way, you can be damn sure it was your own damn fault. Do it. Really criticize yourself. Who knows, you might uncover something of importance from your guilt-ridden past. Alright, I think we're gonna go for the precarious world. And we'll try and kill 4 hours, because, yeah, that's... All red checks auto-fail is nasty. Step 8, Resnava, freedom. Freedom lady. Got anything useful to say? It's all about money, you know? Thanks. I didn't know. I wonder if that lady is back. Let's go and knock on her door.
The door is closed. This door can only be opened with a key.
Okay. Let's see. See, I need to figure out some way to kill 4 hours.
Yes?
Kim? Tell me about the case.
What do you want to know?
If we're from different precincts, why are we on the same case? Yeah.
I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
Uh-huh.
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it.
You know what I'm in on, retrograde
Better
amnesia.
still than an imbecile cop-off.
Oh, baby. I don't know, cop-off sounds kind of fun.
It's just stupidity.
What kind of stupidity?
The cop kind. Our precincts can't decide if Martinez is part of Jamrock or the Industrial Harbor. Yours or mine, as if we somehow own parts of the city. Typical street gang mentality. So we've let the Union make a mockery of law enforcement here. And now it's come to its natural conclusion.
So this is a struggle over who runs Martinez.
Well, sort of. It's less a matter of who gets to police
yeah, I was
Martinez
about to
than who
say,
has
not
to.
really a great
It's an
prize to
orphan
win.
district, in other words. I think the dispatch desk just told both our stations about the hanging. There was quite the brouhaha at the 57th, I can tell you that. Time to settle it, they said. Cop off. But I assure you, I am not their finest or toughest, with 102 cases solved. What I am is least interested in a pissing competition.
So, of course, they made you do it.
So he volunteered to represent the 57th, but not out of competitiveness. On the contrary.
So you volunteered to spoil it.
Yes, I'm an unrepentant spoil sport.
Yeah, we knew that about you, Kim. We already knew that about you. What's special about Martinez?
Martinez? Nothing. It's just a puddle at the end of some drain pipe. No one cares about this place. They care about sports. Most of our colleagues don't even know how to get here. North of the interchange doesn't exist.
As someone who skipped out on the first hour of this stream to watch sports, I feel personally attacked. Thank you, Kim.
A tremble comes over you. Another after effect of ethanol poisoning, perhaps. Feels like leaves do when they rustle in the breeze, somewhere far away, below the turbine. The 41st and the 57th. The lieutenant was right. It's not about who gets what's north. It's about who doesn't.
I see. So the winner doesn't have to police Martinez, probably. Wonder what this says about me, that I was sent by my station. He raises an eyebrow, thinking it best to let you make the next move. Aha. Set to teach you a lesson in style. There can only be one conclusion. I'm the finest. It must be an augury, an apocalyptic omen sent by my people. Can you guess my message? Don't be scared, but I think I might have supernatural abilities. I probably have an unbelievable kill count. No, we know that's not true. I'm gonna leave why I was sent unspecified. Yeah, I was sent to teach you a lesson in style.
Okay. Style me.
Oh, shit!
It's impossible to tell whether he's serious or joking.
Alright, loosen your shoulders. Yep. Alright, we're gonna teach Kim the art of Riz here. Disco Riz. You should ease up a bit. You need more looseness.
No, I don't. I used to. Plain clothes did the trick. For both of us, it seems. Now, was there anything else you wanted to ask about the competition? If not, we should move.
Alright, nope.
Yes, it's a wholly pointless matter. Forget I ever mentioned it.
He's actually glad it's addressed now.
Is this a white check? Okay. Why did the 41st send me?
Look at you. It's because you're a failure. They sent you to slight Precinct 57.
Yeah, no, I believe that. I believe that. Makes more sense than the other stuff
Just
I thought of.
think about it for a second. You're a raging alcoholic who showed up 3 days late wearing piss-stained disco garb. You weren't sent here to win.
What if my precinct sent me on this case because I'm a fuck up?
I've considered it.
I've considered it! So it's true.
It would be immensely ugly of them, not to mention unprofessional. But I also think it's somewhat unlikely.
Why is that?
I checked the records. This jurisdiction dispute, who polices Martinez, reaches back to the 30s. It's as old as my station. And all this time we can't decide who gets Martinez? I think, yes, both stations would prefer a win.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. So you are their finest.
I am the finest of nothing.
Yeah. Do you really see me as the safe bet?
Safe? No. But you're old. You've made it this far. Something has brought you through. We've only just started working together, so I don't know what it is yet. But it's there. So no, I don't think they sent you as a joke. And even if they did,
Aw, Kim, you're just the best. Alright. Tell me about the case.
What do you want to know?
Would you say this is mysterious?
No, it's not a particularly mysterious case. The
Why not?
deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that.
Okay, so the case probably isn't mysterious. Could it be sexy?
As you know, there was considerable interest in this case at my station, but probably not for the reasons you have in mind.
Sure, there's not some sex angle we should be considering.
Good point. Martinez is famed for its occult sex murder rites. We'll get on it immediately.
The wary tongue is the surest indicator that the lieutenant is being sarcastic.
Doesn't have to be a cold. It could just be sex murder.
That's commendable. Was there anything else?
Right?
It can still be an otherworldly sex mystery in your head, with a dark twist even.
I like it.
He's basically challenging you to sex it up with some lurid twist. Don't get right into it. Sit on it a bit, then hit him with
Perfect. Speaking of the sex murder aspect of it, Yini actually pointed out something very disconcerting, and I'm not sure I should say it. But yeah, we interviewed the Hardy Boys last time, and we kind of got the sense that so the guy was hung because he apparently did the struggle snuggles with one of the girls here, and that was the reason that they hanged him. But nobody really wants to talk about like who the girl was, what she actually claiming. And Yini pointed out. So yeah, I was kind of coming to the conclusion that yeah, the SA claim is probably bullshit. And what Yini pointed out is we have run into characters who throw around those accusations willy-nilly. I think that's all I will say. We have run into characters who make bullshit SA claims. So yeah, what did your preliminary information say about
You
it?
mean like a brief? Do you want me to brief you?
Yeah, that'd probably be good on the second day.
3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute.
So my little speculation is likely she was an SA, but the Merc tried to hit on her, but Titus had a crush on her. That's probably not what my theory is. or not the one that Yini brought up, and I kind of like it. No, I don't think there is that angle. I don't think any human being in his senses would have any interest in this woman. Why didn't we know anything about the caller?
They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex.
Okay, why hide them?
There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The Dock Workers Union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that.
Yeah, I got
Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. That's the case. Uncover and arrest the killer. Good.
That's all I need. Inland Empire. Convince Kim there's a sexy dark mystery twist in the case. I see. Yeah, we'll come back to that in a bit. Okay, so we actually do have a level we can distribute. Yeah, I'm sort of leaning towards maybe getting another point in conceptualization. Let's see, is there any? Actually, I might take physical instrument. Alright. So what else? What else? You know what? I could check. I'm assuming this is gonna take all day to thaw. We unplugged this ice cream maker because it was frozen shut. I assume it's gonna take all day to thaw.
This orange machine is dead still.
Yeah.
It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melted.
Oh, okay. So progress has occurred. Machine unplugged. Still pry bar not strong enough. Alright, I wonder why isn't the police fitting the bill to your room. I think, again, it's kind of down to what a rinky-dink operation the RCM is. I don't know that we have all that money. It's a citizens militia, you know, it's not even like proper police. Oh, hello. The wind howls in from the coal chute above. Sure. Huh. So my pry bar is not strong enough. Oh, hello. Depends on the militia. If it's ragtag, understandable. State-sponsored, weird then. Yeah, I think we're sort of state-sponsored. Like, we did get recognized by the occupation government, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think the state is in a very good position to provide resources.
Hello, sir. How is the investigation going? Found any curses yet?
I found a way into the doomed commercial area.
Oh, that's great. I hope exciting adventures lie ahead. And maybe you can help Mother become less afraid.
Who's that woman?
Oh, that's Auntie Billy. She's nice if a bit distressed.
Why is she
I
distressed?
think she is a bad husband. Not very nice or helpful.
See you around in it. I hear your husband is bad. Watch your breath.
Her hands move over the book covers. The tips of her fingers look rough, stained with yellow. It seems like she has spent a lot of time at work, smoking. The woman before...
Alright. Yeah, just gonna kind of check around, make sure there's nowhere we can go at the moment.
The sight of bullet holes stirs something in you, making you forget the lieutenant's surname.
Look closer
The
first.
faded marks are too degraded to draw any forensic conclusions. Just chips in the sandstone. They look pretty ancient.
Kim, look, bullet holes.
Where?
Someone has been shot. We're cops. We should solve it.
There? Those are old.
Oh, like from the Revolution?
Yes, the one that happened half a century ago. Those bullets were fired during the Revolution and do not warrant an investigation by officers of civil law.
What can you tell me about this
Not
Revolution?
much. I don't have a fresh perspective on it. Shall we go?
Fair enough. Plastic there. Recycling is important. What are you?
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently
Fossilized bubblegum.
inaccessible.
Oh, baby. Poor little viewer.
The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic.
Look
A
inside.
thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word Onuk written on the other side, with N and C scribbled backwards. That's Kuno on the lens.
Shift your focus to the background.
Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast studded with concrete and reeds. On it, a church on stilts, lanky weather-worn wooden planks, an X-shaped cross topping its tower. You know this to be the Star of Pericanasis, or the Cairo. The central symbol of the Pericanassian church, a star, a great moral height to be strived towards.
Purdy.
The church looks old and weather-worn. There are no lights in the windows. Around the large wooden building, you see chunks of sea ice gathered on the beach, and a small tent set up on the ice.
Oh. Why do I get the feeling that's probably the cryptozoologist? Vandalism.
Probably some kids.
How dare they?
This coin-operated viewer is facing south. The instruction manual says to insert 25 centimes and pull the handle while looking inside. Then use the focus knob to zoom in if necessary. Why place a tourist attraction in the middle of such poverty?
What's a tourist attraction doing here?
There was a revitalization project in 49. A design studio tried
Revitalization.
restoring Martinez to its pre-war glory. It didn't stick.
No kidding.
They got as far as the street lamps and that statue on the intersection before something went sour. I suspect it was Erascler's doing. He muscled them out. It's how it usually goes.
Can we, like, do something about
We
that?
should have done something about the Union 10 years ago. That ship has sailed, officer.
Alright, insert a coin.
Your money disappears into the coin slot. A clunk, the ring of metal. The curtains on the display open. You lean in to catch the view. It's blurry. Different blues and greens. In the middle of the shimmer stands a drab grey shape, like a ghost.
Focus!
The lenses shift. The ghost sharpens into an islet in the bay. In the ruins, a man-made structure is visible. A half-sunken sea fort. Its concrete almost reconquered by nature.
Something great happened here, but it's over now.
It looks as if it was abandoned quite some time ago. Nothing but a rotten tooth remains of the anti-aircraft tower. A lonely birch tree grows out of it.
Ruins of some kind of building there.
Really? I don't have the eyesight to make it out.
Lieutenant takes off his glasses and cleans them. Fair enough. This plastic headless fallen rider sits atop his equally plastic bowl, his posture indicating either desperation or pride. Comes as a set with the infamous fallen cap for which he lost his head. The head is not included. What else is there to do? Oh yeah, I did finish my Jamais Vu thought, so maybe we take that too. Maybe we
You're
take
back.
that to Joyce here.
Good. What can I help you with?
Got some more questions about
More
reality.
lessons in basic reality? My favourite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
It's 12 jamais vu thought complete. What is...
What is all of this? The scent, the sound, the air.
What world is this?
What world? The only one, I suppose. The world of matter,
Girls of her eyes look to the
and
sea.
its pale antipode.
The camera of her mind glides over the surface of the water.
What do you see?
Great bodies of water, forest-covered surfaces, clusters of light where the cities lie. You've seen the montage. We all have. This world is enough.
Is it though?
There is a term of endearment they coined for it in the DeLorean century, when humanity was high on this world, discovering more and more of it, these archipelagos included.
What is it?
Elysium.
ELYSIUM. Aha. Wait, is this the one with the evil apes? Yeah, the world does need a term of endearment.
It does. There are those who would call it hell.
What is hell?
A term of hatred that originates, like many such things, with the Mesk petro-fascists.
Miss Petrofascists. Aha. I don't feel like I've got the whole picture yet.
Oh, you want a picture of the world? There is no complete set yet, dear. They're having some trouble reaching orbit.
Oh.
Great things are difficult to achieve. For now, we're viewing the world from the inside, sideways.
How about it's a ball?
That's looking less and less likely, Detective. You wouldn't know it from the tabloids, but the ORG nations have been launching weather balloons into the lower ionosphere since the 30s.
Is Joyce arguing that the world is flat?
ORG, Occident Revachol Grad.
Aha.
There's a steadily increasing trickle of images. Between the big three, they're piecing together a dark grey corona.
Dark gray corona.
Yes. Pale covers 72% of the surface. There are grey flares and prominences, even arcs above entire isolas. The images are blurry, but if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago.
Really?
A cold
How does
fear
that
seeps
work?
into you.
God, wait. What the hell are you telling
You
me?
seem to be spooked. Please don't be.
Her voice becomes homely, calm. She lets a moment pass. Pale? What do you mean corona?
They say there is a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet. That is, if we are still living on a planet. Or, to speak more plainly, imagine vast swathes of land disrupted by nothingness. I am sorry, dear. It must sound quite terrifying through the acute encephalopathy. Even scientific positivism isn't entirely convinced about what we're dealing with here.
See, okay.
But this is one of the greatest questions of our time. Maybe when they get the complete set together, it will jolt us out of our rut, bring us together, however naive it may sound.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's gonna bring anyone together. A fractured
You
corona.
have misimagined it. I don't have the power to convey to you the effect and geometry of the images that depict our world from below low orbit. It's like the crowning of the world. It's insane. Very disco.
She knows how to pitch. She knows how to pitch it to me. Well, if you say it's disco.
See, everyone finds something worth holding on to in this world, however wasted its opportunities.
The cold seeps into you. The air is heavy with 80% humidity.
You have 80% humidity.
Suddenly, you're conscious of yourself standing there, on whatever this all is. Your arms hang down by your sides. The lieutenant observes you both, silently. He adjusts his glasses.
And you said pale. Well, yeah, what is the pale?
The pale is not, technically speaking, part of reality.
Oh, man.
Yes. Also, I think we've had enough excitement for today. We do have a case to attend to.
Of course, Lieutenant. Let's try something else.
No. What do you mean it's not part of reality?
Ma'am, Remember, you are dealing with a very sensitive and impressionable police officer who is still recovering from a recent medical
Kim, don't
episode.
ruin this for me.
The lieutenant's right. Let's change topics. What do you
Gives a
want to
little
know?
wink.
Anything.
Talk to Joyce about the pail without Kim, haha.
You could sneak back later when the lieutenant is not here, unless you can convince him to step aside.
Yeah, Kim, step back for a moment.
Good
would you?
idea. Just ask him. He won't make a scene.
Kim, can I talk to the man alone for a sec?
Fine.
See? What can he do? You're a grown man.
Exactly. I'm a grown-ass man, super mature. Now what is the pail?
Are you sure you're sure? Your colleague seemed adamant.
Yes, what is the pail?
Okay. The Pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, Detective. The separative tissue between the islas. It is the interocellular mass.
What is it like?
Achromatic, odorless, featureless. The Pale is the enemy of matter and
What
life.
the fuck?
It is not like any other, or anything in the world. It is the transition state of being into nothingness.
And we're able to cross this?
The negation of being.
Negation of...
That's right.
Yeah.
The negation of being.
She tightens her hood around her neck. It's colder outside. Yeah, that's what I wondered. If we're surrounded by pale, how do you get from Isla to Isla?
Oh, it is so difficult for us.
Her lungs deflate, her words sound like a sigh.
A squall of birds. Hardware operating in the harbor. Firm. Self-evident.
It is possible to force dimensions on the Pale. In modern times, we can even compress its latitude, bouncing radio waves from one end to the other,
Wow.
shortening the path.
And we're just, like, totally departing from... Like, we were near reality in the setting until now. We're just, like, we're getting into some sci-fi shit now.
But it is still hard for humans to navigate the Pale without getting lost
But it drives you crazy.
or having our minds damaged.
Is it here?
No, Detective. We're safe. It begins there, 6,000 kilometers to the north, and even more to the south, east, and west. You are in the middle of the Isla.
Interesting.
As your gaze instinctively turns north, a small black pit opens up in your stomach.
6,000 kilometers from the end of the world.
Yes. That is enough. Many cities are built much closer.
And there?
An uproar of matter, darling. Rising into the Pale. Rolling. Evaporating even. A great vision. The area of transition between the world and the Pale is called Porch Collapse.
Porch collapse.
Imagine a grey coronal mist. Cold vapor marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism. A mold that's adapted to grow at the edge of the unrest. It's
What?
the most disco
Disco.
thing you will ever see.
I love you, Joyce. That does sound incredible. Well, except for the whole gray part. If it was colorful, it would be the most disco thing you'll ever see.
You hear your pulse rise. The air feels caustic and cold suddenly.
So, what are its physical qualities?
It's difficult to describe, or even measure. Something whose fundamental property is the suspension of properties. Physical, epistemological, linguistic. The further into Pale you travel, the steeper the degree of suspension. Right down to the mathematical. Numbers stop working.
Numbers stop working.
No one has yet passed the number barrier. It may be impossible.
So 1 + 1 becomes 3, pretty much. I see why the pale can damage the mind.
Extensively.
Yeah, ow.
Some say the damage stems from extreme sensory deprivation. Others argue that Pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading. That is rarefied past, not rarefied matter. They call it the blend over of the self. The Pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology, maybe history even. The human mind becomes over-radiated, by past.
What the fuck?
Who says and who argues?
Who says and who argues?
The logical positivists say, the dialectical materialists argue.
Well put, well put. Logical positivism leaves no space for argument. And what does this overradiation feel like?
It feels terrible. Absolutely terrible. International standards strictly limit civilian travelers to 6 days of pale exposure per year.
It's more for her. Way more.
Historians of Welkin say, my sources I made it the fuck up, and we go, lol, okay, yeah. That's true. I think she's using history more in the sense of, like, causality breaks down. Like, just because something happened in the past doesn't, therefore mean that the consequences exist in the future, or vice versa. So you're not a civilian passenger?
No, nameless detective of the Citizens Militia. I am a member of the Entreprenetic Business Class. I'm cleared and trained for 22 days of pale transit annually.
Wow.
Someone else you've met may have been exposed as well. The strange grey-haired woman in her lorry.
Do lorry drivers pass the pale?
Yes, carried in the hulls of airships. It's a horrific job. Automation will abolish it soon.
That explains why she's all fucked up.
You should ask the pal driver about this. See what she says.
Yeah, oh, and her name makes perfect sense. Yeah, she is the pale driver.
That poor woman must have stories to tell, like you wouldn't imagine.
So are you overradiated?
Up to my gills, officer.
An acidic smile on her lips. It's getting worse every year.
So, what is entreprenetic?
Entreprenetics is the scientific study of the pale, or a recent iteration of it by way of grad. The study of the pale reaches back 6,000 years. The Pericarnassians called it the Western Plain.
They had not traveled the entire circumference of the Pericarnassian Super E Solar. It was not merely in the west, it was everywhere, even then, surrounding them.
Did they cross it?
There are signs of pretermodern crossings. Successful navigation of the pale relies not just on technical know-how, but intensive psychological preparation. Some of these tactics have been known for thousands of years.
You have to prepare yourself to not go crazy when all of the laws of reality stop working. This is the most disco thing imaginable. Holy shit, she's right. What has entreprenetics changed?
Nothing. We remain powerless before the pale. The only real advance in pale transit is the speed with which an aerostatic craft can pierce it. Less exposure leads to less effects later.
Yeah, what's an aerostatic craft?
Hybrid airships, detective.
Aha.
Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity after the point of reference for motion is suspended, once you've crossed from near pale to far pale. In essence, we throw them in and they come out the other end. If we throw them precisely.
If we do not...
Then they don't.
Then they don't, of
Gone,
course.
like a skipping stone beneath the surface.
How much pale is there compared to the world?
The pale outweighs reality 2 to 1. There is more pale than there is matter.
Aha.
And the ratio is slipping.
So this is like the dark matter problem. There's more dark matter than there is matter. And the ratio is slipping.
What do you think, detective?
Huh. We going for the heat death of the universe or a big crunch? What do we think? I think it's growing.
Precisely. One of the few measurable effects of the pale is that it is expanding at an unknown rate. An intuitive conclusion of that development is that one day the pale will cover everything. But this sort of talk is mostly left to extremists.
So where would we go?
Most people, and indeed most private and government sector organizations, entire civilizations and religions even, find handy ways to ignore or downplay that knowledge.
Huh.
I suggest you do the same.
Just you do the same.
Off we go. You see the hanged man's mouth open.
Off we go into the wild pale yonder.
One and all. They say pale is death. but for the universe.
It's entropy. Wow.
Why should we just leave, and the world get left behind?
Let's return to reality.
Yes, sweet reality. But before we do, tell me, Detective, is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything?
Uh-huh. I sometimes sense vague shadows of a past and it's not good. Yeah, I think that's probably the most accurate.
Then tell me, what do you think of the Pale?
I'm worried. I have to say, it doesn't sound very liberal to me. No, you're right. It is fucking disco. Her eyes tense. Crow's feet radiate from them. She observes you, your bloodshot eyes and swollen face.
Your ailing constitution, sweaty forehead, the beads there, and your heavy breathing.
You really didn't know. This does not spell good for the investigation, Detective. If you don't know even this, then...
This investigation will be my masterpiece.
I hope so. I truly do.
Oh,
If I
yeah.
may
I'm a
suggest,
superstar.
hold on to your colleague, Kitsuragi. I ran a check on him and he is very competent. In the meanwhile, you have me. I will assist you in any way I can, even if we have to do it one basic term at a time.
Gives you a slight bow.
Good. You have not passed out from it. Perhaps I worried for nothing. Are we still on the reality lowdown, or should we do actual police work now?
Yeah, let's get to work, Lieutenant.
Good luck, detectives.
That's bonkers. Okay, so yeah. We're beginning to get a sense of just how much this reality departs from our own, and it is pretty serious. So there's just like a force of entropy slowly eating this this planet. Oh, that's metal as fuck. Oh my god, I love it. What a setting. What a setting. It's actually it's a lot like the Welkin setting they were doing for the radio game, where they were talking about the heat death. Fascinating stuff. Yeah, I want to talk to the Pale driver now.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It
Alright, so can't retry that check.
Lowman, you caught me at an opportune moment. This awful weather keeps me awake. You can entertain me with your questions.
I think I know what's going on with you.
And what is that?
You're a Pale driver. You transport goods through the Pale.
Great. He asked the Pines rep about the Pale. And now
No, he's talking to everyone about it. You damn straight, Kim. Damn straight.
Fine then. Just try not to black out again. And don't contemplate. We don't have time for that.
Everything is related to the Pale, Kim. My condition, the case, everything. It's all intrapenetic.
That is exactly what I didn't want you to think. Ma'am, my partner wanted to know if you work in Pale transport.
No offense. But your partner?
She lights the cigarette. A white and silver cloud of smoke disappears into her mouth.
Seems like a bit of an idiot.
She breathes out. The air tastes sweet. I blacked out from sheer heartbreak and lost all memory of the world.
Like Gabriel Buenguerro in Segúreme, Paraíso. You're the opposite of me, then. I remember everything. Even the things I never knew.
Nice.
The smell of liquor on Gabriel's lips after the shoot. In the motor park. The roses on the day of Franco Negro's coronation. And the grand stairs of riot.
Yeah, she sees
The
history
smoke
that's
from the
not
Fowling
hers.
Piece when Dolores Day was shot. The look on her face, like an orgasm. The wound in her chest. My hand in my father's hand. Except I never had a father. And I never shot her innocent Dolores Day.
So isn't that dangerous?
Thought insertion? Dithering? The Grad Catalan Magistral? It's more than dangerous. It's sad. But at first I had to make a living. Now, when you've seen it all go away like that, rolling off like the sea, and then come back to this,
She gestures at the square, the broken horse monument, the clanging of machines in the distance.
what are we doing here? For thousands of years, Gabriel. It doesn't have to be like this. We can just give up. We can just become a vapor.
What does it feel like?
Nothing. Until it starts. When you are deep enough. Then, for me, it's like autumn. Dark, gray, and orange. The orange of street lights and the color of streets in the electric light. It smells like autumn too. It smells terrible.
I see. How do you pass through it?
In the belly of an airship, behind the steel windows. So you don't look straight into it. It's not advised to look into it.
So not on this lorry then?
No, the same one, a roller. They all are nowadays. Special wheels for connecting to the floor of the hold.
She points to the machines, clumped up like toys. What does it look like?
Like
the
looking
tail?
into the ocean at night. In the dark.
And
You cannot see it, but you know it's there. And it's big, bigger than anything. Bigger than all the other things combined.
said we can just become vapor?
Yes.
Yes.
No elaboration.
I feel like I already have what you have in some way, yeah.
They say there is a point. One that I have not crossed. In the Pale, super deep. If you stray too far, of course, on the U41A, or in Lomonosov's land, where every step you take is one step further from home, no matter the direction.
What a line. What a line!
It's a point you cannot come back from. Your mind becomes so radiant with the past, there is a flip. Instead of writing, it erases memory, nearing some kind of indescribable finale.
Uh-huh. So you become vapor, you become one with everything. All of the knowledge in the universe, everything that ever was, ever will be, ever could be. Holy shit, I was not ready for this tonight.
Maybe you've been down the motorway south?
She looks at her cigarette. It's almost out. She has swallowed it hungrily. Then at you. The motorway south.
It's a story as lone horsemen tell. Lone horsemen, Jerife, not Pell drivers. Way beyond the established Pell that's lit by radio frequencies, where it goes silent
Goes silent.
and dark, and the process begins, erasure, kilometer by kilometer, in any direction. The motorway south is a road you cannot come back from.
In the center of this town, there's a ghostly motorway, she sang.
It takes all the people where they want to stay.
They say I've been away on a kind of holiday.
She replies silently. What's at the end of the motorway south? There is no end.
No one knows what's at the end. I've only glimpsed the beginning. I've only felt it in the distance, when I was a child.
She goes
child
silent,
growing
her
on
eyes
the left.
close and her hands shake. Ma'am?
Hosianna.
Sigh escapes her lips, then silence as she stares within herself.
She is receding in the clutches of some indescribable scattered emotion. A child descending.
You've fried both your brains enough for today, detective.
He inspects her. No response.
Let's get some air. This one's far gone.
He shakes his head silently as he turns to leave. Dude. What the fuck? Okay. I don't even know what to think. Well, I know what to think. That's amazing, but so yeah, the whole world is surrounded by actual entropy that you can sort of traverse, but you look into it and yeah, you lose all sense. You become vapor pretty much. You lose all sense of reality. Dude, What a setting! What a setting! Oh my god. Okay, let's see. Motorway south. -1 visual calculus, bizarre angles. At the edge of the map, the landmass begins to disintegrate into pure trigonometry. The ocean melts, becoming a tangle of sines and cosines. The mountain range turns into a sharp-angled azimuth. Its green range shadow dithers like music, turning into a waveform, and then vanishes. This is the end. This is the end. A half-remembered textbook from your childhood. The porch collapsing on the edge of the Isla. A transition from reality to pale. A single vector shoots out like a rocket. It's the motorway south, splintering off from the known pale. To where? Where does it go? That is so fucking cool. I don't think there's much to do. Going to Fritta, I guess. I think probably the best use of our time is maybe to go back into the doomed commercial center and maybe poke around, see if there's something I missed. Let me...
The bear's eyes are dead and empty. Ice inside the fridge slowly melting. The power has been cut off.
Okay. So yeah, we'll kind of just, like, mouse over everything. I really would love to figure out... I'd love to figure out the password for this, right? And I kind of assume the password is in the ice cream maker, because we saw that note in the hidden room that was implying that there was something from this group. Like they hid it in the ice cream maker. So yeah. Yeah. That's all well and good. Okay. Yeah, down here. We have the secret room. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Oh. Well, hello. Insane mesh tank top. Oh, baby. Still haven't found a hat, which is kind of surprising. Where did you even get that one? No, really, who put it in that drawer? No further comments. Wear it at your own risk. I prefer more logic or more drama. I think more logic is probably the way to go. Okay. $0.45. We take that.
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic.
Have any clothes for more visual calculus? It's 1 conceptualization, -1 suggestion. Esprit de corps. Nope. There's our good friend Kuna. Kuna's fucking electricity.
The trash container stands in the spring snow.
I don't think we need to do this again, do we? I think if I throw up, I might actually take some morale or health damage. So yeah, I don't think we're gonna bother with that one again. See, I need to kill 2 hours somehow. Kill 2 hours, and I'm not sure how. We'll put our tools time. Time passes when picking new dialogue options. Read books to pass time quicker. Yeah, I mean, I guess we could, I'll be in my bunk, reading.
The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in. The morning light hurts your eyes. It's hazy, but you see the ocean and some war-torn buildings.
Oh, yeah. Bunch of bottles here for me to pick up, sure. Some bottles in your room can be recycled, indeed. Indeed they can. Let's see. Yep, there's another one. Fuck. Breaking down the bathroom door is
A mirror
special.
hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
Let the mirror be for now. Okay. So we can use our chain cutters to try and fix the faucet.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, the chain cutters slip out of your hands as you attempt to twist the faucet into place. Well, you know one thing for sure. You've probably never been a plumber.
Alright. Let me grab the book again.
The man from Heimdall. You know the story by heart at this point. Nothing new or remarkable catches your eye.
Well, bummer.
The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots.
Right. What to do for 2 more hours? I guess we can turn in the bottles we recycled. Again, I'm just waiting for, pretty much waiting for 9 o'clock when I can go and meet with the, dude we saw smoking yesterday. I think he's at 28. But yeah, sure, let's turn the bottles in. Actually, do I need my bag? Yep. I probably need my bag in hand.
The tear machines. Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears with a satisfying jingle. You're a richer man now.
Can try carry. I thought I didn't have the tape. Shit, yeah. If I can try karaoke, yeah, that's absolutely what we're gonna do. This feels right. You belong here. I don't know, man. I don't see any way to do the karaoke. Breaking the law, breaking the world. Kawaze. Something, something, tenderness. Just look around for a suitable replacement for that ball I chucked into the ocean. Trash can. Wonderful. Can't go there. Butter sign down.
A rusting control panel with loose wires. This panel usually closes the water lock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a crashed salmon and butter sign in the way. Pulling the lever probably won't do anything.
Pull the lever again.
You pull the lever all the way up until the metal clicks against the contact pins. You hear a soft clunk. Then, nothing happens.
Push it harder.
Nothing happens. A cold gust of wind blowing in from the... The spring brings the lever back to its original position. You still need to close the water lock to get across the... Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored on Wednesday morning?
Fine. You win this time, Ken. You win this time, doubting our abilities. Oh. What is this? Scribbled between the thighs of a page 3 girl, L'origine du disco. Wonderful. Was it really all for that? Was it really all for what's between the thighs? Probably. You can repair the canal bridge early on. Skill check needed, though. Interesting. Obviously, I don't even have the ability to figure out what skill check I would need. That's how far off I am. Fuck. You know what? I guess I'll go buy another book. If I recall, the one about the pail was cheapish.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels.
There's the Dick Mullen novel.
The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of Famous People. You see a large variety of browsing through all the books with all their names makes your head spin. None of these seem important or relevant. It's all just vapid egoism. Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob Irv and Alfie Delatraz, by one Cecilia Averbrook.
Ooh.
High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history. One of them is the madcap driver, Jacob Irv. His blonde mane graces the cover. Next to Irv's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his eyeballs and cocaine into the other.
Yeah, I mean, it balances out, right? You get a downer in one eyeball, you get an upper in the other, you just, yeah.
Next
it all
to
balances
that,
out.
Rivasholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8, reporting on real-life crime and ruining cops' days.
Damn, Guillaume.
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free. Do still browse, though, but not too long.
She understands she has erred against the customer and immediately goes course.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead. Take your time. Time is commerce.
Anything of note in this
I would
shelf?
say... The Greatest Innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool, delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to innocentic power.
Innocentic power.
A
Or what
very
is an
influential
innocence?
historical figure. But surely I don't have to tell you that.
She waves
You're
her
a
hand as if
law
casting
officer,
aside the
and
thought.
law officers have at least some education. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things.
So you recommend it?
Certainly, it's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history and society. Imagine the chaos we'd be in otherwise.
Yeah, we'd have cops running around who don't know what the hell they're doing.
You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. It's important somehow.
There's
something personal
inside. All right, yeah, let's get
A
it.
true cultural touchstone. Enjoy the read.
All right. Inland Empire's never steered me wrong before, so... Let's... I don't know, can I, like, sit on a bench or something?
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
Kim, what a
You
slave
can
driver.
revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when Lieutenant Kitsuragi is gone.
I see. Well then, Kim, I'm gonna read standing up, just to spite you. Knowledge of the History of Innocences. It is written by one Joao Paulo Salomao Lopez de Fuego, a Mesque fascist who tries to reach a conclusion on which of the Innocences is the coolest in the world.
The Greatest Innocence by Joao Paulo Salomao Lopez de Fuego. The book is large and heavy.
Crack open this immense tome.
Browsing through the various chapters, you try your best to understand the ceaseless overflow, the sprawl of names, dates, places, events historical. Most of it ends up as a twisted mass of facts inside your brain.
I see.
You can do it. It'll be worth it. There's something here. Your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No. Oh well, it's pop quiz time. Let's see what you've learned. This might take a few minutes. You ready?
Sure, why not?
That's the spirit. Here we go. Question 1. Who was the first innocence? Oh yeah. This is what I was
Oh
waiting
yeah. That's so? Alright, go on, give me all the hints you got.
A pop quiz is a short examination designed to test your
No!
knowledge
Fuck!
without any prior warning or announcement.
No!
Such exams allow the teacher to assess how thoroughly the students have retained the material.
I feel like this is
Voila.
fun with
At
AI.
last, that first innocence.
This is fun with AI. Fun with AI. Hey, Chat GPT, can you help me with this pop quiz? Sure, this is what a pop quiz is. Yep. The AI chatbot in our brain. Thanks, Encyclopedia.
Thanks for nothing. Dolores Day. Dolores. Incorrect. Dolores Day was the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. She codified parliamentary democracy and created modern institutions. Among these, the moral intern, she was powerful and beautiful on all her icons.
Okay.
Her colors are silver, white, and apricot. And when you think her name, Dolores, stomach acid rises to the back of your throat, and it hurts. You see a flash silver, a wreath, an airport bag, and blonde hair.
Blonde
You
hair.
don't know why. Another choice, perhaps? Steer clear of this one. There's something terrible about this one.
What?
A strange
Oh, man.
sensation of loss. When she left the earth, the dust, and the ice, and the humans. That is unimportant to the quiz. Stop thinking about this.
See.
Yes, the quiz is impersonal. No need to rouse sensations in yourself at the mention of Dolores Day. Who was the first innocence? It wasn't Dolores Day.
Sola?
Incorrect.
Yeah.
Sola was anointed during the previous century and even lived to see the current one. She was an urban
So I guess an
planner who
innocence is
spoke
like
her
a saint,
mind
pretty much?
and largely left history to its own devices, encouraging people to excel on their own, rather than prescribing to a deified model of history. She is often called an anti-innocence.
Innocence.
Sola resigned after an assassination attempt by a Yugo nationalist who blamed her for not taking the side of the left during the turn-of-the-century revolutions. Innocences don't usually resign. Care to try again?
Oh, it's like a pope. Okay, I gotcha. The Paracarnassian?
Correct.
Aha.
Nothing much is known about him. It's not even clear that he was a he, but Franco Negro presumed as such and called him Pius. He's depicted as a young man with molten gold pouring out of his mouth. All he spoke was gold. It's said he invented God and equality of men before God. He also introduced the gold standard as a way for measuring people's love for Aurum.
There we go.
As the first innocence, he declared that there should be more of those like him. It is presumed his disciples were the beginning of the Holy Party, the founding party. Question 2. Who was the strongest innocence? Easy. Everybody knows the answer to this. You, me, anybody.
Sure, try again. I trust you got my back.
And innocence is the highest category of historical personage in the world. A literal personification of history. Traditionally, an
Highest
innocence,
category of
when
historical
anointed,
personage in the
assumes
world.
supreme rule over the Occident or the known world in general. At least
see.
the parts that matter.
Yeah, so interesting, but I thought you'd give me the answer to the damn question.
I can do better. Okay, so commonly an innocence does not enforce his or her power through military power. This is seen as unnecessary. The innocence wins because an innocence can't help but win. For their deeds are inevitabilities. Did this help?
No.
Damn.
Damn.
Dolores.
Dolores. You're just saying that because Dolores means pain. I'm gonna say Franco-Negro.
Correct.
Yeah.
Named the innocence of militarism. He codified
Since he's the one
hereditary
naming
rule,
the
but
previous
at the same
innocences.
time ended serfdom.
Or deciding
and
that they're male,
established
at least.
the Inter-Isolari Real as the global reserve currency. He also established the concept of the nation.
Concept of the nation.
Franco Negro attempted to solve the rising tensions between the aristocracy and bourgeoisie by building a unified society in which every man has a place and a mission, but at the same time may rise to nobility provided on the strength of his virtue.
Sounds good on paper, at least.
Question 3. Who was the false innocence? Got it under control. No problem. Solid on this one. It's widespread historical information.
Aha. You gonna be helpful this time? I could use a hint.
Yes, there exists a group called the Founding Party, known as the Holy Party, during the time of the Pericarnacium.
God damn it.
This, the world's oldest international organization, spends its time in search of either the re-emergence of the innocents or new members.
Sigh heavily out loud.
There seems to be a mix-up with the sources. It's not my fault. At least it clearly wasn't Dolores Day. She wouldn't be false. She's beautiful.
Dolores.
No, stop thinking it. I said it wasn't her. She was true.
Okay, the false innocence. No Pasternak?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
There have been a number of counter or false innocences. Some assumed to have innocentic qualities. Some who just thought so themselves. Occasionally, they have the support of a faction inside the ecclesiastic organization, and accusations of foul play have arisen.
Huh. Okay, so they hold temporal power, pretty much. Like, they control most of the Occident. There's that whole faction that looks for the emergence. So it's almost like a Dalai Lama, I guess?
The most
I don't know if
famous
there's, like,
and
the...
important
There's
of
probably not a
these
resurrection
was
angle.
Eleanor Pasternak. He was into torture, despotism, hymns, cannons, and world conquest, but got defeated and humiliated by Stepan the Despicable of Kedra. Final stretch. You've come so far and learned so much. This is the most important one. Question 4. Who was the greatest innocence? The most important of them all. The most precious to humankind. I've got it, honest.
Okay, are you sure this time I'll bite? Hint me.
Of course, this is my thing. The reason I exist in this world. The correct answer is Franco Negro.
You're absolutely certain of this.
0 doubts. While it was actually her.
Franco Negro.
Incorrect.
No!
While Franco Negro built concrete churches and cathedrals, and while many people, especially the Mesk, consider him a father figure, due to his militarism and nationalism, João Paulo Salomão Lopes de Fuego argues differently. Another choice, perhaps? Oh yes, militarism and nationalism. My bad. Yes, obviously.
Yes, obviously. The greatest innocence. Huh. I mean, if he is a fascist, it might actually be...
Incorrect.
No.
He was a violent bastard, out to torture, maim, and kill whoever stood in his way. He was also a false innocence.
I thought they were going to make an argument that because he was a false innocence, he proved, you know, he proved the value of the innocence. Fine, Dolores Day.
Correct. The Mesk might see Franco Negro as the father of nations, but as of this century, there's been a great shift in attitude. Dolores Day has become widely regarded as the greatest innocence. A most radical change to the whole fabric of the world. Everything from inter-esolary travel to the connected world to 3 consecutive scientific revolutions can be traced back to her. Every decade that passes, she seems less human somehow, and more beautiful, and more beautiful, and more beautiful.
Thanks, Pain Threshold.
Congratulations on finishing the test. The results and your subsequent grade have been calculated. You get a D, not particularly remarkable, but technically a passing grade. Not that anyone really expected better.
D's get degrees!
You would have done better if you just left Dolores Day for the end. Dial the Dolores Day down a bit.
Damn you, you arrogant book.
What's going on with you?
Yeah, thinks it's so smart, goddamn.
Okay.
You are shouting at an inanimate object. Like a real weirdo. No wonder you seem to have trouble with the right answers.
Thanks for that. That was definitely a thing that happened. I'm scum. Just a scummy old scum. Scum, scum, scummy scum. Scum, scum, scum. Alright. Hey, Cindy, you got anything new to share?
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Mm-hmm.
The lieutenant is desperately searching for another handkerchief.
Mm-hmm.
Hatred, disgust, it's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Right.
Ozon is an archipelago 2 days' travel away from Rivershore.
You mean
On a
Joyce?
first-name basis with her, are we? Piggy's moving up in the world.
Well, the negativity.
Have you got a crush on her? Aching for an opportunity to defend her honor.
Later, Cindy.
Give me a moment.
Thanks, I'm off. Ah, yeah. That real estate agent is not here anymore. Anything else I can loot? Sorry, repurpose for very important RCM business. RCM officer does not loot. Ooh. Well, buddy, it's Sarah Maurician lounge jacket. Nice. It's our coat. It's not your coat, it's our coat. What else? Magnesium? Alcohol, Commodore Red, +1 physique, -1 morale, I see. Probably gonna hold off on healing my morale unless I really need to. Because we're getting near the end of the day, and I think everything gets, sounds like what Diocletian tried to do, but it fell apart the moment he died. Yeah, I could see that. Orange bum hat. We finally found a hat. How about that? +1 reaction speed, -1 rhetoric. An orange beanie with a couple of big-ass holes on the side. Looks like it might have been used as a mask during an armed robbery. Okay, and then we have the Sarah Maurician lounge jacket. Classic white summer jacket, loved both by the Sarah Maurician Communist Party and the accompanying subtropical drug traffickers. Fits you well, regardless of your political ambitions. Aha. Do I put on the bum hat? I kind of feel like we're gonna need rhetoric for the for interviewing Mr. Smoker Dude, so maybe we hold off on the bum hat. Maybe we hold off on the bum hat. What else? Oh. 17 cents hidden in someone's shoe. Waste not, want not, I suppose. Oh yeah, we're rolling in it now. Absolutely rolling in it now. This is the coal room. Just gonna check things out. Make sure Cindy's not hiding anything else exciting from us. Yeah, looks looks fine. Looks fine. Oh. Well, looks like there's a light there. Is he home already?
This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. Someone here really values their security. No one answers.
We should return in the evening, at 9 p.m.
Well, fine. Yeah, I just need to kill like 45 more minutes somehow. If only Kim wasn't here and I could sleep on the bench for a little while. Half the current stream time, killing time, fun stream, right? Yeah. I feel bad about this. I feel like everything's gonna open up like tomorrow when I can get across the bridge, but yeah. Have to kill the time to get so I can interview this dude. Yeah, it feels like real police work. The books were fun though. I don't regret killing time with the books. Oh, hello. 7 cents and some magnesium. Hidden behind a pallet. Yeah, it's, we're alternating between, like, mind-bending, entropic bullshit and, yeah, killing time.
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
In the dimming light, some things become clearer. Cindy's artistic impulses are infectious. Why am I looking at this wall?
Because this is no ordinary wall.
Yeah! Let's go, our
Look
cop.
at it. The shadows.
Look at it.
The colors.
Let the conceptual joy flow into your pupils and blossom into thoughts in your brain.
All the other walls on all the other houses must make a pilgrimage in adoration of this, the uncontested pinnacle of wallcraft.
I like the lantern there.
Face of God.
Wallcraft. In all the world of Wallcraft, you are the finest. More.
Oh, Wallfather.
Oh, Wallfather! Kim, I must paint this wall, add even more beauty to it. Huh?
He sounds tired of it all. Cindy the Skull has all the necessary materials. Talk to her.
First, I know you're tired, Kim, but take another look at this wall. Draw nourishment from its beauty.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Sure. I must talk to Cindy. Get the necessary materials from her.
If you must.
Oh, I must. I must. Alright.
Hello again, officers.
Cindy, I need some paint in your brush too.
What for?
For art. It's for art, okay?
Well, if it's for art. But what kind of art are we talking about?
Everything is sad and shit and we need art to make it okay. Just give me the brush.
Sounds like you're just about to live out your self-pity, not make a statement. I can't have shit art on my conscience.
Cool, no brush then, not a problem.
You're about to cry internally, aren't you, Piggy? Oh, pathetic. Just give up. Art isn't for you.
Mm-hmm. Also, I think because we're working on that thought, we auto-fail any red checks, so, yeah. We'll come back later. Right? All red checks fail. Yep. Ooh, that's something I should keep in mind before I talk to the smoker, I guess.
ruination has come. The broken arches betray the once grand history of this building. It towered over the harbor until it happened.
Form a guess about what
A
happened.
great force from the northeast fired into the city. Heavy artillery shelled the coastline, fired from the water, a straight shot into Revachol. The tenement acted as a defensive wall against the worst of the shelling until it was destroyed, and they had a direct firing line.
Taking the
The
ocean.
waves of the Martinez Inlet rolled over the fallen remains of the building. The dark waters obscured the better part of the remains. This is where the damage came from. From somewhere in the inlet, the cannons. What didn't fall into the ocean was used as scrap. What wasn't used as scrap was thrown into the ocean.
Sounds like a paradox. If it didn't fall into the ocean, we use it as scrap. If we didn't use it, it falls into the ocean. Look at the ruins.
Those arches acted as support for something greater than what you see now. Only 3 stories stand where 9 to 12 once did. Restoration has failed. What the shelling took out was never rebuilt. Underwater, iron helmets have sunk deep into the sand and the mud. Helmets of soldiers, and their finger bones too, and clavicles.
Oh,
littering
not the
ocean
clavicles.
floor.
Who did this damage?
A fleet, the combined armies of Occident and Grad, with Mesk volunteers, a 5-nation army, hundreds of vessels. They massed airships further down in the Bay of Revachol. The artillery was so powerful. The ships not only required gyroscopic stabilization, they were anchored into the ocean floor as well. Many are still there to this day. If you squint, you can just barely see the shadow on the water, far in the northeast. Cannons still ready to placate Revachol.
Hey, Kim, do you know who shelled our
The
city?
coalition. But that was a long time ago. I think we should move on. It's chilly up here.
He fears the discussion might lead to disagreements, as it often does.
Time to go. Oh. Classic care, absolutely. Yeah, that's Cindy's room.
Give me a moment. I'm no one. It's barely...
And all she hasn't spoken to anyone for a while.
Okay. I was hoping the dialogue options would advance time a little bit.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board. Oh, and an incredibly cool piece of kitchen tissue stuck to the back.
Hanged Man's advice, Lonesome Long Way Home's kind of hurting me there. Yeah, let's try to open the hidden compartment.
Just relax. The 2 sides of the board are slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off the slides. All you need to do is bend the plastic on your knee, slowly. The slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just,
Slide it open.
without resistance or sound. The 2 panels move against each other. The compartment is now open.
What's inside?
2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard.
Fucking kill yourself, you asshole. Pick up the ticket stubs.
2 octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium costs extra.
I see.
These let you go there too.
So we were at the zoo at some point. Pick up the card.
Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet flowers, floral patterns, patches of glue.
Give it a big old snoof.
It smells of chewing gum, apricot flavor, a touch of cinnamon, the end of summer. You think the label says tutti frutti.
Open it.
Familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card.
Oh,
Neat, round letters in a woman's hand.
Oh boy, time to be sad about our wife.
A young woman in her 20s. There is care, effort, and a smile, you think. Although that is not something you can read from someone's handwriting.
Yes, it is.
Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake up. Maybe it will make you happy.
What?
Throw it away, please.
But it will make me happy.
Outside, you hear the wind howl. A sudden gale blows in from Martinez, flapping street signs and window blinds.
Come outside.
Keep reading.
Your hand shakes, holding the card. Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, it says, I find a little piece of sadness in me. I carry it in my chest, down Voyager Road. Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step onto the light rail and look back. Sparks fall from the bow collector. I know it will be like this until late afternoon, when I get off the 42 and walk back to you.
Keep reading.
You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do.
Wow.
I can't believe I met you. I can't believe the happiness I feel with you. You have a vast, vast soul, and I will always, always, always come back to it.
Oh, this is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt.
Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. Everything around you gets dark. Small white dots appear. You feel the ledger slip from your hand. No, hold on.
Hold on.
To what? There's nothing.
Detective, is everything all right?
Kim, catch me! Fall sideways. Is that an ending? Are you serious? That's an ending? Will you just die of sadness? Begin.
There is nothing.
Uh-huh.
Again.
Nothing.
Nothing sad, brother. No treachery. Just blackout.
Just lie there passed out.
Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you. That's still there. And the small light that's on, fluttering, somewhere in the basal ganglia.
Who's that?
That's me. Blue eyes, that's me.
Nice and quiet.
Is it? The world is gone. You are no longer reacting to outward stimuli, yet still.
A bitter, caustic sense of loss remains. Even in the darkness, great sorrows slip in the water. Slimy.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
Here in the paleo-mammalian cortex, we call it the shadow.
Shadow.
Because it's always there.
Named White Morning.
Tell him.
Ah, yes. In the olfactory system, they call it the apricot chewing gum scented one. It's unhealthy of them to linger on it so. But as they say, what do you do?
It smelled so nice.
It didn't smell nice. It smelled like betrayal.
Was that the X something? The
Bloated corpse of the past resurfacing.
It was kind of beautiful.
Beautiful. Believe me,
Not an ending. Keep
stupid
going.
ape.
Sure.
Its lack of beauty was not the problem.
Where is Voyager Road?
There is no Voyager Road. There are no roads, no houses, no lights in the windows. It's all on pause.
So my name appears to be Harry?
Your name is fuck all.
Thank you, Ancient
It
Reptilian Brain.
certainly ain't Harry.
What is it?
Your name is passed out on the ground, dragged around by one of the other evil apes. They're taking you somewhere.
Enough. Just lie there
You
motionless.
think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into biomolecules. No. Someone is breathing on your face now, inspecting your pupils, stupid idiot.
What is that? It's cold.
Yes. They're pouring something on you. It's in you. And
It's delicious.
Oh boy.
Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness.
Where am I?
The upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in the driver's basket. The air is thick with leatherworks and heavy fuel oil. Cold water runs down your chin.
Drink. Water.
Yeah, I probably should drink.
The water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself, as it pours down your parched throat. The pounding in your head recedes. The darkness parts.
Drink. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol?
No, I did not know that.
You need a secondary form of hydration.
They're about to happy tapioca you. I don't think Kim would do that now. Drink.
With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water. Some of it spills on the driver's seat. The lieutenant pays no heed to it.
What happened?
I came in contact with the burnt-out ruins of the past, Lieutenant.
That does sometimes happen.
And see the remains of your ledger.
He replies with such understanding, it's as if the burnt-out ruins of the past were an occupational hazard.
Yeah, no, that sounds about right.
Athlete's foot for cops.
That sounds about right.
You dropped these. Are you okay to proceed?
Let's solve this case.
Good.
The Ledger of Failure and Hatred is a special item that can be used both as an interactable and a tool equipped in your held slot for skill bonuses. Find it under the Tools tab in your inventory.
The Ledger of Failure and Hatred. +1 Inland Empire, +1 Empathy, -2 Authority. Interesting. This is the same ledger you found in the trash, only worse somehow. Makes you think about the letter, about the woman's handwriting, about not wanting to get out of bed in the morning. I see.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage
So we
of
have a book of
papers
grudges
hanging
in game,
from the
pretty
board,
much.
with the permeables drawer inside. Oh, and an incredibly cool piece of kitchen tissue is stuck to the back.
Alright, can I read the case files now?
Yes, at last. You find a way to piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. HDB 41, date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120111700. The Next World Mural.
Next World Mural. Okay. Yeah, so Harry Dubois, 41, precinct, 1201, yeah. Are those officer precinct?
Why, yes, your precinct number is 41.
And HDB?
Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials. Harry Dubois, HDB. Still feels like there's something missing from that.
The Next World Mural.
This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202, a graffito, nay, a mural, appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central Jamrock. The building is a sparsely inhabited ghost tower, part of a failed real estate development called Grand Couronne. Cause of failure, rent too high. The mural
rent
is enormous.
Is too damn high.
Two silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. The text cut into their form reads, "True love is possible only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class. People call it that thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer. You and your partner are assigned to the case. The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the belles lettres have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface, One of the graffito artists is rumored to
Imagine
be rich.
that, a rich
they take
graffiti
responsibility
artist.
for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the next world mural, as the crew calls it, remains an unknown.
Read on.
The crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner, JV, is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock, ending in a rare plebiscite
okay, they actually let them
organized by
vote
you
on whether they keep
and the
the
rest
mural.
of Row 3.
What happens?
The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villalobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between two options.
Remove the mural or keep the mural? I mean, the mural sounds pretty cool,
A
honestly.
staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority, and that love truly is possible in the next world for new people, and it is too late for us.
Middle class are not to be blamed. Yeah, everyone sucks.
Did anyone ask you what you believe in, man with the smelly toilet ledger? What do you want to tackle next? Or are we done?
Yeah, I
Not
think we're
much
done
has
for now.
changed in the meanwhile.
We're done for now. Man with the smelly toilet ledger. Zero authority. Right, right. Think I might like to level up. Yeah, let me level up conceptualization. Let's be the art cop. Okay, let's try that again with less passing out. At least we killed some time. Unconsciousness is a great way to kill time. It really is. Alright. Hi there.
Gendarmerie. You found me.
Young man on the balcony gives you a bright smile before taking another drag from his cigarette.
His slender figure is backlit by city lights, its distant streets and motorways flashing like diamonds. And his shirt is still unbuttoned.
Yeah, got your hint. Found the key right under that
Beautiful.
stone, thank you. He replies smiling. As he looks at you, something sparkles in his eyes.
So tell me, are you here to make things right again?
That is what I'm aiming for, yeah.
Beautiful.
He says again. A nearby street lamp casts shadows on his chin, drawing out the slender cheekbones.
I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting.
Really digging the view here.
That's why I chose this place. Martinez is special, isn't it?
Wait. Suddenly you are digging things?
And why would I want to meet your friend?
Trust me. You do.
Alright. I'll talk to him, but I want to talk to you
That's
first.
nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my friend you're looking for, not me.
Okay.
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. It's getting dark and the neighboring windows have lit up one by one.
I see.
Downstairs, a cat crosses the yard, disappearing into the bush.
Besides, I've got to run.
He's going to leave you alone again. That's sad.
That is
Something tells you you're never going to talk to an individual this cool or mysterious ever again.
Run where?
To the city. It's a beautiful night.
Alright, you vampire
A
fucker.
man on high heels stumbles out of a basement club, music blasting over the entire district. It's chilly, and as the chemicals hit his nervous system, 1,000 shivers ripple through his body.
Only if you promise that we'll talk again. It's important.
Something flutters in the corner of the lieutenant's mouth as you're saying those words.
We'll talk. Just not tonight.
Smoker assures you, brushing his hand through his hair.
Take care, alright?
Alright. Interview the Sunday friend. And he slips off into the
He's
night.
gone again. Looks like it's becoming a theme for him.
Something so different about him that I just can't put my finger
Different, of course.
on. Why is his shirt always unbuttoned?
His shirt.
Lieutenant squints his eyes, trying to hold back laughter.
His shirt.
He's trying to dive deep into the mysteries.
Yeah, come
of
on,
his
Kim, help me out here.
shirt.
His shirt. No, I don't know why his shirt is always unbuttoned.
His mouth tightens as though trying to hold something back.
He's barely holding it together. It's all he can do to keep from bursting out in laughter.
Come on, detective, let's go. We've got a potential witness to interview. His Sunday friend, remember?
Nods at the apartment door before you.
The precarious world.
Uh-huh.
How not to lose. It is impossible not to. The world is balanced on the edge of a knife. It's a game of frayed nerves. You're pushed on by numbers and punitive measures, pain, rejection, and unpaid bills. You can either play, or you can crawl under a boat and waste away. Turn into salt, or a flock of seagulls. Your enemies would love that. Or you can fight. The only way to load the dice is to keep on fighting.
Fool that you are, for you trust the neurons in your brain to tell you that they are neurons. Or the chemicals in your brain to tell you that they are chemicals. Will you fight or will you die like a dog? Bonuses. Critical success and failure thresholds lowered by 1. I see. Wait. Does that mean if I roll a 3, it's a crit fail too? Not sure about that one. White morning. You see yourself from above. You passed out on the blue tiles of the hostel room floor. Even from this distance, you can see your eyelids flutter at the mention of what? A great white object letting out its sweet smell like a lily of the valley. The little man's forgotten its name, but he still remembers the feeling. And look, he moves. The feeling animates him. He instinctively reaches out for the feeling's best friend, a bottle of Commodore Red. He puts on his disco clothes and gets smaller and smaller. Quarterly Business Magazine. Hello, sir.
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
The man in business casual removes his cufflink.
His hands are clean and well manicured. This is a man who knows the importance of appearances.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government.
Aha!
I work for the Institute of Price Stabilité on assignment from Sur-la-Clé.
I see.
I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here to assist you in any way possible. Ask me about the hanging.
Can you tell me about your friend?
Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all.
I want to get it out of this guy that his friend is a man whore. How did you two even become friends?
How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulindian Isola? Oil platforms ablaze in the night? Civil wars lasting for years? Finally, the international community is forced to step in.
So the coalition occupied
One of the
Revachol.
wonders of democracy is that everyone is allowed to have his own opinion. And not just allowed, encouraged even. Have you ever tried debate?
Once or twice.
Debating. You should consider joining a debating society for adults. I hear they're oodles of fun. I used to have a flyer for one, but
But
now that I start thinking of it, It was for an improv class anyway.
Oh,
it's
I
this
mean,
funny theater thing, you know?
very similar to debating
Very
improv, honestly.
creative. Helps relieve stress.
It's all just bullshit.
A chill runs down your spine as you envision a half-dozen people in professional attire standing around a chair, awkwardly pretending to be waiting for a motorist. It's neither funny nor creative.
You still haven't told me who he is.
Sorry. Who?
Your friend, the smoker on the balcony. We were just talking
But
about
I
him.
told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone of our civilization.
So all you can tell me about him is that he's here to study the
He's
arts?
deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes.
As though you weren't envious enough of the boy as is.
Which arts?
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows? The world is open wide for a talented youth like him.
And what are you doing in his apartment? by
I'm
yourself?
just enjoying the view.
Isn't it rude for your friend to leave you alone
We're
like this?
friends. Nothing's taboo between us. He comes and goes. I'm sure you'll see him around. He's very active.
That's something.
I'm
else in mind.
all ears, officer.
So you actually witnessed the lynching.
I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
All right. So this is just the break we've been
Easy,
looking for.
detective. No need to jump to conclusions.
Eyes the spectacled man near the window who smiles and spreads his hands. Start from the beginning if you don't mind.
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play.
He holds out his hands and blossoms his fingers, like a drama teacher setting the scene.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend what was happening. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one.
Oh boy.
That's when I understood. I should not be seeing this.
Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated. Well done, detective.
So who are they? Can you describe them?
I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. But they were very loud and very Martinez. Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their profanity.
Oh, they sure can. How many of them were there?
I couldn't tell you exactly. Less than 10. Maybe 8?
Exactly 8.
The lieutenant sends you a sharp look at the mention of that number.
Any of them huge?
That's a giant you're describing. No, they were all quite human, as far as I could tell.
Alright, so what happened next?
I went back inside.
Yes, back inside. Keep yourself safe from the killing.
Were you able to see anything from inside?
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices. They were threatening to kill that poor man.
They're men, women?
All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly.
Okay.
But we are fairly certain the lady driver was present.
You sure at least one of them wasn't a woman? You're just leading the witness now.
It's
Come
possible,
on.
officer, but I cannot say with certainty. It was very dark, you must remember.
Yeah, ethnicity.
I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Areopagites among them. And I am quite certain that one spoke with a Mesk accent.
Okay, yeah, this lines up with what we know of the Hardy Boys.
Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. It was oddly quiet for a public lynching.
Huh. They lynched a guy.
Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts, no anything.
Yeah, that does seem strange.
I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add.
About what time was all this happening, approximately?
All I can say is that it was late.
You didn't check your watch.
My watch. Yes, now I remember. It was 30 minutes past midnight, give or take.
Let me get this straight. You didn't actually witness the hanging itself, did you?
No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day.
I see.
It seems this wasn't the break you were hoping for. I think we have everything we need. Thank you for talking to us, Mr. Villedroit.
Of course, anything I can do to assist the RCM.
So yeah, what you doing in Martinez?
The coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer. like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled.
Yes. And price controls are exactly the wrong way to do that.
The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight.
What is the price stability?
It is the most important thing.
Clears everything up.
It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity, which is essential for maintaining high levels of employment, which is essential for maintaining the social stability.
Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't change.
Précisément. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much deflation, it becomes too cheap for bakers to produce.
Indeed.
That's why the Institute of Price Stability works to keep inflation just below 2%.
2% of what?
But not too far below. No. Too below is also bad. Below, but close to 2%.
Indeed. You don't want it too high, you don't want it too low.
The coalition believes in the
When
importance
inflation's
of
stable
informing
and
the
predictable,
public
that's the
about
way to go.
benefits of the price stability. Transparency is one of our principles. Would you like an informational pamphlet?
Fuck yeah!
A sound monetary policy is essential for addressing uncertainty. Stability is the raison d'être of the moral interne. It's the reason why I identify as a moralist.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't have my leaflets on me. That's too bad. You can
damn.
always call our information line. Making
I
information
was
available
excited
is part
to
of the
read
moral
about
interne's
inflation.
commitment to transparency.
You know, it's probably the most civilized flyer about inflation that I've been slipped on the street in the past few weeks, at least. So what are you doing here in this apartment?
Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. This, of course, happened when the coalition forces landed here. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here.
Alright.
Whatever you wish, officer.
all
A
I need.
moment, officer. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave.
Why can't we talk later?
It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen.
Fair enough.
And I'm pressed for time. After you leave, I should be leaving as well.
That's not the real reason he's so apprehensive. Men in his position shouldn't be seen loitering around in underprivileged young men's apartments in the middle of the night.
I just want to take a look around in this apartment.
Go ahead. It's a beautiful space. Let me know if you have any further questions.
Definitely. Samaran conical hat! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Alright, Harry Dubois. Let's do a racism. Super logical for a cop to wear this. Insensitive bachelor party vibes. This tawny cone-shaped hat looks like a beacon of Samaran wisdom, its straws sticking up like antennas. Thank God you can't really see people's reactions when they see you strolling around in this incredibly insensitive headpiece. Absolutely. Exquisite canopy bed made of metal. Buckets of paint on a layer of old newspapers. None of this is weird. Certainly not. Expensive men's perfume lingers in the air. Party Dragon's silk robe. Drama and electrochemistry. Old photo of the same apartment dated year 01. Empty ashtray. Dates for open lectures at a local university. Well, flyers for underground parties. Yeah, so he probably is actually a student. Transparence has always been our highest priority. Indeed, indeed. Okay. Anything else we wanna... Anything else?
You have acquired the hat. Keep it, officer. It looks
Acquired
good.
the hat. What's an official like you doing in Martin?
The coalition,
Yeah.
the economy impacts the entire...
Let's do some kind of bureaucrat.
As I said before, I am a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute of Price Stability. This is one of the main projects of the Moral Intern.
Wait, there isn't actually an Institute of Price Stability, is there? Or maybe there is. God, it's impossible to understand whether someone from the Moral Intern is joking or not.
Right. What is this international
La
community?
Communauté Internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the Coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the revolution.
Tell me more about the Moral
It's the
Intern.
International Organization for Moralists. Hence, Moralist International. The Institute of Price Stability is just one of its many mind babies.
Mind babies.
As is the Coalition.
Terrifying. I mean, so we're actually working for the Moral Intern? Doesn't seem too
There
bad.
are more nefarious powers to work for than the moral intern.
Are you a moralist?
But of course.
Am I a moralist?
Well, do you value freedom? Do you believe in a normal, stable world governed by democratic values?
Yeah, Martinez doesn't seem very normal or stable to me.
Martinez? No. Martinez is something else.
How about the rest of Revachol? Is it part of the normal world?
Revachol is generally difficult. It's led by an interim government, which means it hasn't yet achieved full democracy. But they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking.
It's like every time I'm talking to people, I'm choosing option D, none of the above. Is that moralism? Don't think I'm a moralist. Moralism sounds incredibly boring. I want more action.
Do you think peace is boring? What about prosperity?
Yeah, that shit sounds like a snooze fest. Nah, this peace is what all true warriors strive for.
Exactly. I don't find it boring. I find it fulfilling. Peace is what allows me to have my morning coffee, my afternoon golf, my sundown
Your
friends.
sundown friends,
The smile he gives you is straight off a
Straight off a
campaign
poster.
The kind of smile focus group tested to appeal to the most gullible swathe of the electorate.
Now, enough of this delightful political interlude. Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
About Sur-la-Clé.
What's there to say? Sur-la-Clé is a modern, urbanized country that measures very high on the Human Development and Freedom Index. Mostly, though, it's known as the executive heart of EPIS. Moreover, it is a great sponsor of less emerged countries. Revachol is only one of its many darlings whose progress it supports and cherishes.
I see.
Darlings? That can't be an official designation.
What makes Revachol Sur-la-Clé's darling?
Because a great percentage of Revachol's culture hails from Sur-la-Clé. Its language, its people, its cuisine even. Or at least in the downtown.
I see, right, because they just... Right, Revachol was only settled a couple 100 years ago.
Jamrock and other parts of the international zone have been mercifully spared of Sur-la-Clé's love for meatballs and mashed potatoes.
Alright.
Whatever you wish.
That's
Of
all I
course.
need.
I'm sorry I couldn't be the break you were looking for.
Well, thank you, Sunday friend. Thank you especially for the hat. The hat is wonderful. Alright. So I think we'll probably go ahead and head back to the whirling. Yeah. Head back to the whirling, go to sleep, and then we have a big day on Wednesday because we can finally get across the canal. So yeah. A little bit of a bridge stream, maybe you could call it. We're getting to where we need to go. There was some fun shit. There was some crazy shit with the pail. My goodness. But yeah. I think next one's gonna be real interesting when we get to the other side and check out the fishing village. Maybe a sea monster did this to the plaza? Maybe. Alright. So yeah, I think I can, do I need to, like, debrief with you today, or... Oh, okay. Gotcha. Later, Kim.
The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting. but it's yours. You've earned it.
Damn straight. Go to sleep.
The bed is still cold from the wind blowing in from the broken window. The mattress creaks as you close your eyes and try your hardest to fall asleep.
Here we are again, my broken bud. The waves
Or
are
even have
coming,
room service. I
carrying
fuck
you
no.
away. But you can't go. No, you have to stay. Always half aware of yourself.
Oh god, I can't even rest. Sounds like hell.
You're not cooperating, brother man.
Why?
It's your disgusting body. Even through your sleep, you feel a vague discomfort suffusing it. Your belly and your sides are unpleasantly tender. You wish you could curl up into a fetal ball of safety. But you cannot, because of the pain.
The pain!
And there's a lot of it, ever present in your organs. It's like every one of them has their own nasty song to sing.
I'm in this game and I don't like it.
That pain in your right side is your enlarged liver, by the way. As for your kidneys, you've really been compounding the damage lately.
Sure.
But this suffering, it must have some kind of meaning. A story that will come out of it. Perhaps even a story that you will write yourself.
I'm an artist, and liver damage is my art. No, I will endure this pain with dignity. Quiet grace and dignity. I will only scream a little bit.
There's no dignity here. Only reflections of your body mass. Flashes of the day. You keep coming back to yourself in the mirror. But why? To admire all your accomplishments? You're just stuck here, in the half-world. Could try looking at other people, really looking. But why would you want to start doing that?
I'm looking at people all the time. I like them.
Sure you do. They're all so friendly, aren't they?
I mean, one or two.
Some of them are. Some of them are nice. Others are scared.
Volition's got me, man.
At least they're interesting. Each one has a process just like yours, running in the space between their ears, full of secrets. People are beautiful, statuesque, parodies and tragedies of themselves. A great democracy of creatures.
What do you think you're doing right now? Coming to some greater awareness? Look at all these lights blinking in and out of existence.
No.
Thoughts. You're just pretending that you're asleep. Even
to yourself.
While the world goes on without you.
Let it. Let it.
But it never seems to let you go, does it? Time to rise and wipe that shining sweat off as best you can. Gather your bearings. Rock and roll.
Open the eyes. Stop having them be closed. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I need a minute. I need a minute. Okay. So on that note, I think we're going to leave it for tonight. Thank you all so much for coming out. Again, apologize for the late start. But yeah. This was an interesting one. Yeah, this was kind of the bridge to greater things, I think. Yeah. The least active chat this time. People have got stuff to do. I'll never complain about the chat. And some people just like to lurk, you know? And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So, it is cool. It is very cool. But yeah, I think next one's going to be really, really cool. We're going to get across the canal. We're going to hopefully find the cryptozoologist. And I need to decide if I want to do that. I need to decide if I want to do that task for Everart. Help him with the land grab or not. I feel like I could probably just chuck the letter into a mailbox without getting the signatures, and like things will be wrapped up by the time he realizes something is fucked, right? Like, you gotta wait for the mail to be sent, you gotta wait for his lawyers to actually look at it. Like, yeah, we probably have some time there. I lurk a lot. Yes. Nothing wrong with lurking in your swamp. It's warm in there. It's moist. It's comfortable. So yeah. I will be back again on Monday with some more Batman the Enemy Within. I hope you can join me for that, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Until next time, Amiki, I bid you walate. Take very, very good care of yourselves. I'll see y'all again later. Bye!